Hey everyone, Matt Pisarcik with RazorEmporium.com. I'm coming at you today for a quick video, 5 things you are too embarrassed to ask about straight razor shaving. And I am joined by Salvador Santos. We just got finished with a double-edged discourse. Sal does all the honing at Razor Emporium, and he even did a straight razor shave on his head for the last video. So he's the guy to ask. I figured if he's here, let's take advantage of him and let's ask these questions. So the very first question, Sal, I'm sure if you've talked about straight razors with your buddies or friends, are you going to get cut? Are you going to get a nick? Is it going to happen if I try to use a straight razor?
Well, if our last video was any proof, and go back and find it, I would say most assuredly you're going to at one point or another nick yourself. Even with a lot of experience, it can happen. There's a tiny lapse in how you handle the razor. Not to fear, guys. Not to fear. There are plenty of ways to kind of overcome that. One is your technique, of course, having a deft hand, kind of knowing what you're doing. The studio added a nice little element of difficulty to the shave. However, if you do find yourself in that situation where there is a little amount of blood weeping that's happening, we have styptic pencils that are available. Alum block is a great way as well. You can use that to kind of cure that cut real quick and help seal that up. And 99% of the time, you're not going to slice your face off, guys. I've been shaving with the straight razor for years and just shaved my head literally just a few moments ago, and I'm still here.
I know. I think people have in their mind like some horror movie or something, and someone uses a straight razor and just like cuts their throat. I mean, it's actually not a very effective tool for that kind of thing. It really is designed with how delicate the blade is for very fine hair removal.
Correct.
I mean, could you cut yourself? Yeah, but I always tell people the analogy of like a record player and the needle. Like when you're actually holding the blade that's touching against your face, you'll feel it stop, and it's that next like. If you do the next like pull, that's when it's gonna cut. Yeah, like, oh, I hit something. Oh, let's just keep on going. It's like, okay, there's the cut.
Yes.
Yeah, you feel the feedback pretty easily.
Correct. And face mapping is very important as well. Know which direction your hair grows. If you have a new ingrown hair or a new pimple or something that's affecting your skin, just be aware of that, guys. And when you're shaving, just be a little bit more careful around that area. You'll be just fine.
Cool. All right, number 2, and we get this one a lot. People ask, what's the difference between a real straight razor and a shavette?
Okay, good question. So a shavette, there's a couple different styles. You've got one that uses a half DE blade. Did you snap in half, or you purchase already made in half? The other style would be what we call AC or artist clip style. And the artist clip style is going to give you the closest shave to a traditional straight razor. Correct. Like a feather. I believe Dovo has one as well. So there's a few manufacturers out there, but it's going to give you a closer feel to an actual straight razor. And why I say that is because the AC blade's a little bit more on the thick side. A DE blade's very thin, so it has a lot of flex in it. So I have found, believe it or not, I hear people say all the time, oh, start with a shavette. And when you get the mechanics down, switch up to a straight razor.
I've said that before. Is this wrong, Sal?
I actually take a different approach.
Okay.
So I have found that shavettes are a little bit on the unforgiving side.
Oh, okay.
So a DE blade is so thin and so flexible, any mistake you make, kind of, you're greeted with a little weeper. So that's your prize. So a straight razor is a little bit more forgiving in that way. So if you have a well-honed straight razor, I'm being self-serving here and I really don't care. It's the ultimate in shaving, guys.
Okay. Okay, that makes perfect sense. And I mean, I have told people the mechanics can translate, but I'm 100% with you that the thin blade is not the same. In fact, we hear from customers who do double-edged shaving and then they try a straight, they said, it feels like it's tugging, I feel it so much more, and I'm like, it's a much thicker blade. So there's just more surface area, more pressure's needed, it's not the same.
No, it definitely isn't, and technique is the name of the game. So whether you're shaving with a double edge, when we all did it, we all came from the cartridge world,
right?
And that's why I switched to vintage wet shaving, is because the cartridge world was just wrecking my skin. So I switched to that, and yes, once you've got your technique down, if you can do it with the DE, guys, you can shave with a straight razor as well. But my recommendation, again, literally dive right in. The water's fine. Go right to the straight.
Very good. All right, number 3. Can I do some manscaping down under with a straight razor?
I'll just put it this way. It's not something that I've ever tried. And quite frankly, till now, I haven't thought of. I would tell you one thing though, preparation probably would be pretty important, lots of pre-shave, a nice soapy lather.
Being in the shower, lots of natural lubrication from the water.
And, guys, when you shave with a straight razor, there's skin stretching involved. So we're just going to leave it at that. And I'm also going to say, have a styptic pencil ready.
That's a fun question. But yeah, we have been asked that. DE razors, I think, is one thing. I'm fluent in that area, so to speak, but I don't know if I would ever bring a straight razor down under.
Guys, when you're straight razor shaving, the idea is to shave in this fashion, right? You're following me? You go down. The second you slide.
No sliding, no sliding.
No, oh my Lord, no.
Okay, I think we'll leave that one right there.
Yeah.
All right, number 4. I just got a brand new razor, and why does it feel like it's tugging and pulling?
Well, we talked about it in our last video, the first video together, right? The double-edged discourse. Please go back and watch that. But we'll offer a couple of points here as well. The factory edge, while good, is not all the way there, and even the artisan blades. Such as your Rolfhaus, your Urchan Sewers, Gustav Lalune, they're very close and they're comfortable. Guys, I've shaved with those out of the box. But there is something to be said for having someone check it under magnification, put it on a nice hone, a nice natural stone. I prefer a natural stone finish. However, there are techniques you can use at home. If you're adept at stropping, a nice canvas strop with some red paste and black paste, or paste of your choice, depending on what grit or microns are in the paste. But if you're adept at doing that, you can definitely freshen the edge to your liking, and you'll feel it potentially be a more satisfactory shave.
Okay. Now, how about some of the mechanics of like a hollow grind versus a wedge, or even carbon steel versus stainless steel? Can these affect the way that the blade feels?
Absolutely. Stainless steel I found to be a little bit more hard to get that edge just so. I think carbon steel is used more commonly for straight razors for that very reason. The downside to that, of course, is that a carbon blade is going to rust a little bit quicker, but they do give you the superior feel on the shave. And then that leads me to, guys, if you get a straight razor, please, you need to have a strop. That's kind of mandatory equipment.
Yes.
Your hair is deforming the edge of that blade the moment you're cutting hair with it. So the stropping, guys, is not to sharpen the blade.
Right.
The stropping is to get the edge flat again.
Right.
And the leather side will give you that little bit final polish and help you maintain that edge so that you can shave with it for a few months before it needs to be put to stones again.
That makes sense. All right, Sal, number 5, final question. I've been at it for a while. I've been trying this for a few months. It's just not going so well. Is it me? Should I try a new razor? Should I try having someone else sharpen it? Am I just bad at this?
Wow, that's a great open-ended question. So there's a lot of ways we can go with it. So one, it could be, yes, you maybe need to up your skill a little bit. There are plenty of videos online that you can watch and kind of get an idea of what a standard straight shaver would do. And then you kind of build on that. So I would say the best thing to do to overcome your skill is your stick-to-itiveness. So the more you do it, the more proficient you become, right? So correct. Yeah, Eddie Van Halen wasn't Eddie Van Halen after 2 hours. So, the more you work at something, the better you become.
Yeah, and I was commenting earlier that, I do this kind of shaving so frequently that whenever I do it, it feels like it's new. But back in the day when I was doing it on a daily basis, you do really get into it. You can just start finding an angle instantly. The pressure, especially if you use the same razor again and again. So
Exactly.
it makes sense.
But yeah, so there is a difference between your wedge, your hollow grinds. The hollow grinds are, I find, to be the easiest to use altogether. The wedges are a little bit harder to get a really fine edge on there. So there's more weight to those blades as well. So it is a different, there is a different technique, a slight tweak in the techniques, if you will, to shave properly with a well-honed wedge, like a vintage Wade and Butcher. But most modern blades are going to be a full hollow grind. It's very easy to find the angle. You just start with the with the spine up against your skin, and then with your fingers as you're holding, you just rotate it away a little bit, and as you're coming down on your hair, you'll all of a sudden you'll feel it engage, you'll hear it engage, and hair's pleating away. You've got it. You just hold it there with your fingertips, feel that feedback, and enjoy that shave.
That makes perfect sense. Well, Sal, I'm glad that we could ask these embarrassing questions to you, the straight razor guru. Thanks for being here today. Guys, if you have question number 6, number 7, whatever you have, please leave down in the comments below and Sal will be happy to answer. That's all we got for today's video. Thanks for checking out Razor Emporium for all things vintage shaving.